Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel Human Aviation. Now in today's video, we are back in the flight simulator showing you a newer aircraft to the Microsoft Flight Simulator suite that we've had for a bit that we haven't had in 2020. Now, you can already tell from what we are looking at here that I'm looking at a hot air balloon. Now, this was actually one thing that was not actually made for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. There was one mod out there that I think was paid that you could actually get a hot air balloon for the Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, but here we are in 2024, and this is the new air balloon that is included in the game by Asobo Studios. So we can actually walk inside here, of course, with our external walk around. We're currently in the balloon. But we can also come over here and just see this, our basket that's kind of just laying here. A fun little thing is if we can just hop in the parachute, we are just sitting sideways. We're kind of just defying gravity. I don't know, my pilot's just chilling. So, we're going to check out the hot air balloon, and this is actually in the classified lighter than air series. If we look here, it says lighter than air in the type on your EFB display here. Now, that obviously means lighter than air. Of course, this is an air balloon, so we're not using any sorts of like wings or aerodynamics engines that are forcing you to take off. It's pretty much a stall airplane, which is short field takeoff, or it just goes straight up. Now, there's some planes like helicopters, those would be classified like that, but this is one of those planes where we basically just take it off from anywhere. You can't really taxi this plane. There's no landing gear, so you pretty much just take off wherever you're parked. So right now we're parked here on the ground of this little airport, but we could just take to the skies. So let's just start up our plane. You can see some things around here is a degree temperature of our balloon, which is currently 15 degrees Celsius, which is kind of normal temperature. And we also have our altimeter or altitude indicator that shows that we are at 199 meters. Of course, we're actually at 654 feet according to the flight simulator. But let's just start up the plane. We just have to open up both of these fuel tanks here, this one, and this will get you into your hot air balloon stuff. Ooh, we actually also have a parachute valve that I just noticed. I don't know what this does. But we can also just start. So let's just start up the plane. We hit, or the hot air balloon, I should say. You just you hit the pilot light valve, and then we just hold the igniter. And we wait for the igniter to light, and now we're going to pull on the main valve. As you can see, our fire flame has come here, and now our balloon is doing its balloon thing, and it's going to inflate. You can actually see coming down here to our little temperature thermometer. If I can spin around, the camera's a little weird. You can see that we're now at 30 degrees Celsius, and we are going to start lifting off the ground, rather than just being this empty, upside-down type of person. Let's keep flying here, keep pushing more power, and we're going to actually start lifting off the ground. Yes, our pilot will no longer be sideways. He's just walking around. Our flame kind of looks a little messed up, but it's going through the balloon. But let's see, we are already off, and then this ground person is very confused. And here we go. Now we're just taking to the skies in our lovely little hot air balloon, light sport balloon, as it says on the side. Now, there's one thing that's actually interesting with this balloon. It actually has a engine propeller on the end of it. If you look at that, that's a interesting little thing. It's called it's in the flight simulator. It's a modern balloon design. It's different than the basic one that is in the flight simulator. There's two. They're both included in the flight simulator. This one is the modernized balloon, and there's also a basic one which doesn't have this engine. So we're going to get to some altitude here. We're going to get up to about apparently 1,000 feet according to the flight simulator. And we're just going to keep flying here and see how everything goes. Now, of course, we're at 0 knots because we're not moving forward. We're only moving up at about a rate of about 800 feet per minute, which is not bad. So we're going to release our little engine thing there. And we can see that we are at 108 degrees. We're actually too hot. It is red here now. That's not good. But we're going to come around to this little engine thing, which we can actually fold if we don't want to use it. You could just come over here. There's a pull strap that if you click it, it just folds your whole engine down. So that's interesting. We could just pull that back. We want it. So here it is. So to start up your engine, all you have to do is open this cover here and hit master on. And that will bring up this little display here. And all you have to do is turn on push throttle. And you can just push this in. And there you go. Now you can see our propeller is spinning. Obviously, you don't want to be holding that the whole time. So we can just set cruise control to about, we'll say, 75, and we can just switch that. So now our propeller will automatically run to whatever 75 is. Now we can steer our hot air balloon by using our propeller direction. Now this goes left and right. There aren't much sound, which is kind of interesting. I don't know if that's a thing with the flight simulator or my computer, but I don't really hear many engine sounds, even though we should. It's a propeller. But you could see we can just change our direction here with the little propeller as we just fly along. Now, obviously, you would still have to be pushing more heat into this hot air balloon top to keep going. We're just going to keep going here. We are at 76. We're pretty far up at about almost 1,000 meters. We're going to keep going until we hit that. But this is actually a very, very cool thing to see out here. As you can just see the landscape around you. It's kind of nice for just viewing some cool sights or seeing things that you normally wouldn't see. Definitely around, of course, the flight simulator has the whole world modeled, so you can see some of that. We're going to turn off the engine, actually, so we can just gain some altitude. That was very, very weirdly quick, and also our hot air balloon is dying. I don't know what just happened. Well, you guys are witnessing this. I just turned off the propeller, and somehow we are spinning. There we go. Those two shouldn't be connected, so I don't know why it freaked out like that. I guess we just stopped a little too fast. So we'll untangle our hot air balloon by using the heat again. There we go. We're okay. We're going to keep climbing here. Back up to about 105 degrees. We'll stop there. And we can still see we are at about 1,000 meters. We'll keep climbing until the hot air balloon loses heat. Now, this is the little airport we left from. We were kind of high up here. But we can see pretty much good amounts of views from the surrounding area. Very, very, very interesting. It's cool to just see, definitely, if you're just sitting here on the outside of your plane like our pilot is here. He's just chilling. Very, very interesting. And we could also turn back on cruise control now. So, leave that on. Now we're moving again. See the power, we're at 37% power. I still don't know what any of those actually mean, of course, because none of this is in units that pilots would understand or normal aviation things would be set to. So we're going to keep climbing here. Just going to keep flying and see how the hot air balloon works. Very interesting, and we'll just keep going until about 2,000 meters. Now, obviously, we aren't going very fast. Here we are now at 2,500 meters, but you can see we are only going about 5 knots when we are moving forward. Now, our engine is on full power. We're just not moving very quickly. We are at about 8,000 feet, which would be kind of hard to breathe up here. But we can see a beautiful, beautiful land around us. Very nice. We can actually see Lake Michigan over there. Very beautiful. Of course, we are over the Chicago suburbs. But you can see all of this lovely beauty that you wouldn't be able to see from the ground. So let's just keep going here. We're actually going to start descending. We didn't really go much of any place, but I just want to show you how to get down. So we're pretty much just going to turn off our engine. We'll just hit off. There we go. So that'll just stop our engine there. And we're now going to start going down. Now to do that, we're going to turn off the pilot light valve. I'm going to turn that off. I can also just turn off the fuel tanks now. We're not really doing much with them anymore. But now what I can do is I can pull this whisper valve, and this is what actually lowers us down to the ground. You can see how it's dropping our temperature there kind of quickly. Now, lower temperature, obviously, the reason hot air balloons fly is because the hot air is going up into the balloon, causing it to lift in altitude. So this whisper valve is pretty much just blowing some type of different colder air to cool down the balloon. As you can see, we're coming down here at about 55 degrees Celsius. We are still climbing, but that will end pretty soon. But we'll see here. We'll just keep holding on to that whisper valve, and we'll just see how we go. Oh, we accidentally closed it. but we'll keep holding on that, and we'll just make sure that we are descending very shortly. That will take a little bit, but pretty much hot air balloons fly like this. Now, hot air balloon in the game is pretty cool, very nicely modeled. This thing, I don't know what this does, but it doesn't do much, but you have your main blast valve along with the other stuff, and a bunch of things are interesting along with these things. Very cool little addition, and of course, included with the game, so that's base game. You have this included. Very, very nice. Very cool to just see if you want to look what hot air balloons do, or if you want to see the your surrounding areas and what they look like. Very, very cool little hot air balloon, of course, from Asobo Studios in the Microsoft Flight Simulator. So you don't have to download anything. Just from 2024, you of course have 2 new hot air balloons. And that's very cool. And like I said earlier, this is the first video in our Lighter Than Air series. In our next video, we'll be checking out a blimp that is here now in the Flight Simulator. So stay tuned for that one. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and have a great day.